12 éven aluliak számára nem ajánlott.
Basszus, nem... Jó, elkezdtem valahol, aztán valami lesz. Régen minden jobb volt. Vagyis azt hiszem, hogy boldog voltam. Nagyon folyamatosan múlik el minden.
Vigyázz magadra.
Nem ez volt a terv. Nem, ez így túlzás.
Mi hiányzik neked, Tamás?
Folyamatosan szerelmes akartam lenni.
Mi van, művész?
Nem ütötte be a fejét?
Nem drogozol, ugye?
Eleget alszol?
Figyelj már, fiam.
Merner Tamás!
Be vagy baszva?
Szőz vagy?
Egyes. Ki vagy?
Meg tudod azt mondani, mit kell érezni akkor, amikor az ember ráébred arra, hogy szerelmes?
Fiam, neked erről nincs semmi véleményed, csak ülsz ott és nézel.
Kedves szerkesztőség, örömömre szolgálna a 2-3 költeményemet. Írd le.
We are entering a new era here. The first mood-lifting, antidepressant, happy plant.
We want rebel music, street music, music that breaks down people's fear of one another, music that knows who the real enemy is.
J'ai fait des films très très différents dans ma vie. Donc, il faut que je vous dise qu'est-ce que c'est qui m'a mené à faire ce travail pendant tant d'années.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
12 éven aluliak számára nem ajánlott.
Basszus, nem... Jó, elkezdtem valahol, aztán valami lesz. Régen minden jobb volt. Vagyis azt hiszem, hogy boldog voltam. Nagyon folyamatosan múlik el minden.
Vigyázz magadra.
Nem ez volt a terv. Nem, ez így túlzás.
Mi hiányzik neked, Tamás?
Folyamatosan szerelmes akartam lenni.
Mi van, művész?
Nem ütötte be a fejét?
Nem drogozol, ugye?
Eleget alszol?
Figyelj már, fiam.
Merner Tamás!
Te vagy baszva?
Szőz vagy?
Egyes.
Ki vagy?
Meg tudod azt mondani, mit kell érezni akkor, amikor az ember ráébred arra, hogy szerelmes?
Ja, neked erről nincs semmi véleményed, csak ülsz ott és nézel.
Kedves szerkesztőség, örömömre szolgálna a 2-3 költeményemet. Írd le.
Nélkül nincs jövő.
Tizenkét éven aluliak számára nem ajánlott.
Nem. Jó, elkezdtem valahol, aztán valami lesz. Régen minden jobb volt. Vagyis azt hiszem, hogy boldog voltam. Olyan folyamatosan múlik el minden.
Vigyázz magadra.
Nem ez volt a terv. Nem, ez így túlzás.
Mi hiányzik neked, Tamás?
Folyamatosan szerelmes akartam lenni.
Mi van, művész úr?
Nem ütötte be a fejét?
Nem drogozol, ugye?
Te eleget alszol?
Figyelj már, fiam. Merner Tamás!
Te vagy baszva?
Szőz vagy?
Egyes.
Ki vagy?
Meg tudod azt mondani, mit kell érezni akkor, amikor az ember ráébred arra, hogy szerelmes?
Ja, neked erről nincs semmi véleményed, csak ülsz ott és nézel.
Kedves szerkesztőség, örömömre szolgálna a 2-3 költeményemet. Írd le.
Nélkül nincs jövő. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Noval Yazid. I'm the festival co-director of Europe on Screen. And today is a special occasion because we are already joined by Gábor Reisz, director of Bad Poems. Gábor, can you unmute your voice, your sound?
Yes.
Oh, hi, that's great.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Gábor Reisz.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, welcome to Europe on Screen. Finally, finally we have you here, albeit not physically. For our audience, we actually planned to bring Gábor Reisz in our festival back in April, but well, we know what happens then, but we're still glad to have you here. And we just finished screening your film about 2 hours ago, and already people already responding how great the film is, how they enjoy it very much. And one thing that we couldn't help but notice, since this is I mean, your presence in the film is very much the biggest part of the film. So I cannot help but starting with the question, how much of the story is based on your own personal experience?
usually people like to ask this question. It's a really personal movie, and I don't know, maybe 70%.
Oh.
It's real. I mean, of course, it's a fiction, because even if you react or make against something, just if you repeat the past, exactly the same past, it's also, I think it's also fiction. You can't do without fiction if you if it's something it's directed, and you use the camera, the sound, everything, you move the actors with conception. So of course it's a fiction, but a lot of things it's from my life, especially the characters.
And well, since it is like what you said, 70% is based on your story, more or less. And during the writing of the film, did you write the script with you playing the lead role in mind?
No, I actually I started to write just notes. Okay, in the beginning I started to write a film noir story, totally different. And I had the main character who tried to formulate himself and started to write poems. And because of this log line, I started to thinking about the character, and of course my experiences with the poems. And I started to think about my childhood and my memories, that how I discovered this word when you try to express yourself in the childhood. So that was the main point of the beginning. And then I realized that I love so much to write these memories, but it was still not a script. It was just kind of notes or novels. And it happened in Paris, because I was in the residence of Cannes in Paris, and I made a decision that I would like to make something super personal, but still I had the idea that I will find somebody for the main. So even if if you write the diary, it's like it was like a diary. And but of course sometimes I imagine myself, but it was impossible to do it, because I'm not an actor. I never acted before. I think it's not acting. It's just be yourself. It's there's not too much feelings in my face, because the way that I try to formulate something, it's not the acting way. So we started a really long casting. It was maybe more than a half year. And in a point when we were really close to the shooting, because we had to make a decision about the main character, and I still don't know it. And then somebody from the casting crew told it that why am I don't try it. And it was really surprised me that before in the university I always worried if I have to do something in a short movies or something like this, and I had never been a theater playing or something. And but in this case, I don't know how, but I didn't feel frustration because of the camera. I think it was, now we are I mean 2 or 3 years later, because it happened in, I think, 2017, the shooting. I'm sure that I had so big depression, especially the love things and any other problems, that I didn't care this frustration. I mean, because of the camera and stuff like this.
So, well, it's remarkable that this is your feature-length acting debut in which you direct and write. So, during the filming itself, how do you stay in character that you write, while at the same time, at the back of your mind, you still direct the film? How did you do the division?
It was crazy. Sometimes it was really hard, but I have to say that my friends, especially the producer, the DOP, and also the assistant, helped a lot. Sometimes, because it's hard, because you need to check on the monitor the scene, and sometimes you don't have time to check it. So they are my friends, so I could trust them. So, but it's hard. It's a long process. I mean, longer than the usually structure. You know, the director sit on back of the camera and nothing mixed like this. So it was complicated, and sometimes for me it was crazy. You know, sit on the set and talk to the DOP, and then when we started, talk to the actor, but in a totally different language. I mean, of course, Hungarian, but it was another kind of talking.
And especially this film, this is like a very visual-based films, and you have a lot of shots, you have a lot of jump cuts, and well, the overall look itself of the film is a mixture of nods to various film style, because we see noir, we see comedy, we see surrealism, musical, fantasy, and obviously romantic comedy. So going back to the preparations, especially when you shift from film noir to more a personal story with all of these elements, what films or works of arts that influenced the most during the writing? Something that perhaps you saw, you read, that influenced the final film?
During my first feature, I realized that I really love this experimental film language. I mean, and especially if you see first feature movies, you can see something which is not totally clear. I really love this kind of mix thing. So even if you have a concept, sometimes you don't care, and you change a lot during the shooting or the editing or the writing process. And I really wanted to try this eclectic style, use different genre, and I had a reason, because of the main character, because this person try different way to express himself, painting, poems, even if water polo is just a sport, but it's also something which is playing, and I think it's also something which is a reason to express yourself. And I think the main target for him is the movie making, movie language, film language. And I think there is nothing clear in his mind, and it was a conception that there is no reason that why is this really eclectic mixture in his mind, but something which is try to connect with the film language, and he's really sensitive, something like this.
Right. I've already received quite a lot of questions from our audience, so we will go back and forth from my questions and audience questions. So we have questions from Young Mei here. Hi Gabor, I watched your film and I was amazed by how you designed the shots. Did you have the idea since pre-production, or is it something that you improvised during production or post-production?
Which shot? Sorry.
She didn't explicitly mention which shots, but probably overall the shots.
What we did in the past, we use different camera, different texture, sometimes 35, sometimes 16. So had to direct it everything really clear. It was so we didn't have any time and money to improvise, but we did it sometimes because shooting with kids, I think my experience is that you have to give time and you have to give some freedom to act if you shoot with kids. But we improvise a lot in the present scenes, a lot, maybe. I mean, of course, we had a script, but actually the actors, I mean, for example, my friend Balint, who is also, in the real life, is also my friend. He's not an actor. I don't think that he could learn a script or dialogue. So we improvised.
Okay.
We made a lot of rehearsal before, so everybody knows the scenes before, because we made, I don't know, half-year rehearsal before the shooting.
Okay. And speaking of the post, how long was the post-production, and was there like how big is the reliance to the green screen or visual effect?
There are a few, but the post-production was, especially because of the editing, was 1 year.
Oh wow! Okay.
I think 3 or 4 months was the sound, and the special effect was, there is not too much special effect in this movie. There are a few scenes, but it was a few months. I don't know exactly, because of the editing process was so long, so it was sometimes the VFX working a few weeks. We checked it in the editing room and also gave back, and that was the process.
All right. We have another questions here. From Kim Mendel. It must be quite difficult to be fragile during the writing and shooting, since it is your own experience. During the writing, how do you choose which memory to choose, and how the team helps you along with it?
The team helped me a lot. I mentioned it that they are my friends. So we discussed every step. We discussed every step of the script writing development part, and we discussed a few parts of the editing process also. So when we finished the shooting, of course, we had a lot of post-shooting. I don't know, 10 days post-shooting, but it was, this kind of low budget. We didn't post-shooting any scene from the past, just from the present. And we discussed everything. I mean, the crew is that the DOP, the sound, the editor, the producer, and set designer, and the production manager. So we met, I don't know, one time in a month during the editing process. We show everything and we discussed it in a dinner in my flat.
Okay. Right. Another question is, this is about your previous film as well. Thank you, Europe Screen, for choosing Bad Poems to Indonesia. Hey, Gabor, congrats for this personal romantic story. I also saw For Some Inexplicable Reason and somehow found a resemblance of nerdy guy in your films. Is there any relations, or do you have any other reasons for choosing the kind of awkward but sweet characters?
The guy, is Balint, I think, the nerdy guy.
Yeah. Like, do you have any reasons for always choosing nerdy guys in your films?
I don't know. The first feature, it was a shooting with my director classmate, and he's a little bit strange guy, little bit crazy, and I wrote the script. Actually, I didn't write script. We had just a treatment, and it was a really low budget movie. So with that script, we just start something, and we really loved the shooting. But the main character is I don't know, 60-70% from this guy Aaron. We call Ferencik Aaron. But in this case, I have to say that I was this heartbroken guy, and I wasn't. I could not. Maybe. So I was in a depression, and I don't know. There is not a real conception behind that decision that it's nerdy or something.
And speaking of your first film, For Some Inexplicable Reason was one of the well-reviewed films back in 2014. It was screened in film festivals worldwide. It received great reception. And Films is your second feature film. Were there any fears or worried that you might not be able to replicate the success? And how did you overcome the fear?
I had sometimes, but not during the shooting. Maybe in the beginning of the writing, I had something depression because of that. Because it was hard. I tried to write a script in Paris, and during when I was Paris, was still in the cinema. The first feature, and I had a lot of really good news from Hungary, from the audience, and was hard to find the focus on this project. And then the shooting nothing, and when we started the post-production and started to show to people, was a little bit, you compare, of course. I think it's not really good, even if you are a filmmaker or anything else, if you are a musician or something. It's really, I don't like this things that people like to compare two different movie or two different something which is a creation, but I do as well, so I can understand. It's if you see just how could you compare two Spielberg movie? He used every movie he try a different genre, so you can compare two different genre. In this case, of course, I give a reason, because the parents and the few characters are the same, but and in Hungary, a few people like to know that is the second part of the my first feature, but it's not true. I mean, I don't care if they think this, but doesn't matter.
Okay, we have another question. Sorry, from Vela Sherlita. She asked, Paris was never bombed part is interesting. I like to see how family element was put into the film. because it is a bit similar with Indonesian culture here. Is that Hungarian culture as well, close to family? That's the first question from her. And the second is how far or how much the Hungarian government was engaged with film production and film funding in your film?
Sorry, I just read the first one.
The first one is about Paris was never bombed part is interesting. And she wants to know the family element that was put in the film. Is that Hungarian culture as well, like close knit to the family?
Actually, there is a gap between the generations in Hungary, because, for example, my parents or a lot of people who are older than 50, they don't spend too much time out of the country because the communist period of the Hungarian history. So and our generation or the younger generations spend a lot of time, and sometimes they spend 1 year, this kind of student job or just started the university in different places in Europe, and we give back everything, every experience what we met there, and it's hard to get for our parents. And this conversation in the car with that Paris was never bombed, actually it's happened exactly with my father when I went back from Paris. And I wanted to talk about this, just not talk, just really shortly just mentioned this problem. And what was the second question? Sorry.
About how much the Hungarian government was engaged with film production or funding in this film.
Well, with this movie, I had a huge success with the first feature, and I think I had we gave the green light easier than anybody else, maybe. So they liked the story, they liked the script, they liked everything, and it was maybe easy to find money from the Hungarian Film Fund. The last few years it changed a lot because maybe the structure as well, but members of the Hungarian Film Fund changed, so I can't answer now that what will go on. I started the script 1 year ago, my next project. We are in the development, in the script development part, but I have to say that a lot of people could not shoot a movie in Hungary who need it, who is absolutely base that, for example, the Golden Beer winner Ildikó Anyadi, she was my main teacher in the university. Just they drop out his project, for example, a few months ago. So it's hard. I don't know. I think it's a little bit chaotic now.
And since you mentioned a little bit about you are developing a new project, what can you tell us about the new project?
I don't really like to talk about because as I can mention it, that with this project I started with the film noir, and then it happened this super personal something, I don't know. So it may change. Sorry,
it may change from what you already prepared.
I don't think so. Now I started to write with my friend Jakob Juli, who is my how could you say, co-writer. So we write together, and it's something about the society. It's not really especially the Hungarian society. It's just society in 2020, it's not so, it's not close to the comedy. I never made decision about that, what genre I want to use. People like to say that I direct comedies, but I never had decision like this. I mean, I just use the humor because I think the life and the people are usually really funny. But in this case, it's a little bit more. It's serious.
Okay.
It's close to the drama. It's something drama about it's a multiply story. This is the but also a high concept movie. I don't want to mention the high concept.
Okay. Speaking of Bad Poems itself, how was the public reception in Hungary when the film was released?
Well, it was really good. It was really close. Maybe I don't know the last numbers of the but I think it was a little bit the same with the first feature. And also we won a lot of prizes in Hungary. I mean, there is a Hungarian Film Week. This is the main award ceremony in Hungary, and we won the main award, the best film, the best director, the best editing, and the best what was that? The character of the aunt. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know the English name of this prize.
Okay. We have one final questions from Kalana Cinema here. First of all, I'd like to applaud you for playing the lead as well as directing and writing the film. Kudos. Seeing as you take us to the journey through inner thoughts and memories, what will you say to your younger self or perhaps younger audience about life?
Younger audience?
Yeah, perhaps your younger self first.
Well, you know, I'm not a commercial director. I just I wanted to do which I really like, which I could express something what is important for me. So I don't want to make commercials. I don't want to make project which I don't care too much, just just for the money, just because of the money. So I'm really happy with this life, even if financial way is not really okay, but I made a decision in the end of the university, so it's okay. Now actually we make a record with my band, so I'm in a studio, in a music studio. So yeah, I love this kind of things, that sometimes you make music, sometimes you work on the script, on the film with lot of friends, with super people which I really like, which are like my friends. So I don't have any really important advice to my child, myself.
As long as what you do is close to your heart, I think.
Yes,
that's what matters most. I couldn't agree more. Well, thank you so much for your time, Gábor. It's been very nice chatting with you. And before we close our session, I think our technical host wants us to take a photo together. So we take a look at our camera, but technical host, can you lead us?
Okay.
Guys, so please stay still for 1 to 2 seconds and look at the camera, and I will count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. And I look forward to watching your third film.
Okay, I try everything. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ya, itulah tadi Gábor Reisz, sutradara Bad Poems. Dan jangan lupa untuk menyaksikan sesi Q&A atau sesi tanya jawab bersama para sutradara yang film-filmnya kami putar di Europe On Screen setiap harinya. Seperti besok akan ada 2 sesi Q&A untuk film di Tottenhausen pada jam 4 sore Q&A-nya, kemudian dilanjutkan dengan film The Dead Queen yang sudah bisa teman-teman tonton di Festival Scope mulai kemarin. Jadi hari ini masih bisa ditonton. Dan ikuti sesi Q&A bersama sutradaranya Antonio Ferreira besok jam 7 malam. Untuk jadwal terbaru silakan cek situs kami europeonscreen.org dan sosial media kami di @europeonscreen. Sementara untuk hari ini 2 penanya terpilih yang mendapatkan hadiah dari Europe On Screen adalah Wella Sherlita dan Kelana Sinema. Selamat, nanti tim Europe On Screen akan menghubungi kalian. Oke, demikian sesi Q&A malam ini. Terima kasih. Jangan lupa untuk terus menonton film-film Europe On Screen di festivalscope.com dan sampai jumpa. Bye.